Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk about a story that broke yesterday evening, that occurred yesterday in Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out B More. And this story occurred this crime occurred roughly around after 4 o'clock yesterday in the Baltimore McDonald's, in which this guy right here, God rest his soul, Jamal Davis, 38-year-old security guard, tragically lost his life after he was shot during an altercation with a young person. Now, authorities are tight-lipped about what happened, but I found a couple news articles that have a little bit of intricacies and details that you guys might want to check out, and I'll play them for you in a second. But before I say something, man, this guy was a father of two. If him getting killed in McDonald's doing his job as a security guard wasn't bad enough, this occurred in front of his teenage son that was a worker in the McDonald's as this happened. Here's the story. Stuff like this absolutely makes me sick, and something need to be done.
The WMER2 News at 5 o'clock tonight. I'm Kelly Swoop. We are learning the latest about the deadly shooting of a security guard in Park Heights. The victim identified as 38-year-old Jamal Davis. WMER2 News' Blair Sable followed up with the business today to see how everybody there is coping.
Well, Kelly, as you can imagine, a difficult day for those employees who witnessed yesterday's shooting, but even more so for one, Jamal Davis's teenage son, who we're told was working at this location when his father was shot.
He was a great person. For his son to see him like that was devastating.
Owner and operator of the McDonald's in Park Heights, Danita Bell, says it took just seconds before everything changed. This restaurant, a crime scene for hours on Sunday night, now reopened with extra security and grief counselors on standby.
We're just trying to create and foster a safe environment for our customers, for our team. We're completely locked in and focused on supporting the community in whatever way we can.
Jamal Davis worked for the Cameo Consultant Company since 2021 and was based at the McDonald's on Reisterstown Road for more than a year. In a statement, CEO Carlos Moorer called Davis exceptional and a man of integrity, doing his best to provide for his family and make a difference in this challenging city.
This is a terrible incident.
Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates says despite this, he still believes private security helps to make Baltimore safer.
One, I think it makes the customers feel a little more safer when they walk into an establishment. But I think number two, sometimes the individuals who may be thinking about perpetrating crimes, that may be a deterrent.
Bell remembers Davis for going above and beyond that.
He was actually, moments before this tragedy happened, was actually sitting with one of our elderly customers that comes in every morning for coffee.
Now, we understand an argument happened before the shooting broke out, but details at this time still remaining tightly under wraps by Baltimore Police Department, which says this remains an open and active homicide investigation.
We begin with Fox 45's Alexa Ashwell with what we're learning about the security guard and what happened. Alexa?
Yes, Kai Mary, so far no arrests. We're asking Baltimore police about the believed age of the suspect, if they know who they're looking for. Meanwhile, investigators have identified the victim, the security guard, as Jamal Davis, a 38-year-old father.
Great father was lost, a very respectful man.
Standing outside this McDonald's she owns, Danita Bell talks about the sudden and tragic loss of 38-year-old Jamal Davis, the security guard who Baltimore police say was shot and killed while working security at the restaurant late Sunday afternoon.
Jamal was contracted as a security officer. He's been here over a year. He's done a great job, has great relations with the neighborhood. He was actually, moments before this tragedy happened, was actually sitting with one of our elderly customers that comes in every morning for coffee.
According to Baltimore police, a physical altercation inside the McDonald's led up to the shooting. Fox 45 News was there as investigators, including the police commissioner, canvassed the scene, collecting evidence and any surveillance footage. Sources with the department tell Fox 45 Davis was shot with his own weapon. And in 911 dispatch audio we obtained,
Got a shooting.
officers indicated the suspect is believed to be a juvenile.
Anybody confirm or get any type of suspect information to add to a brown hoodie? So we go with brown hoodie at this moment is going to be a juvenile, approximately 15 years of age, black male.
Baltimore police were back at the scene today, but not yet confirming additional information about the suspect or what happened. Bell says she's leaving the details of the investigation to police, but expressed her heartbreak over the loss, adding Davis's son works at this McDonald's and was there at the time of the shooting. She says he leaves behind other children as well. The owner frustrated by the violence.
We've never had an incident of this nature. What is disheartening is to see that there were young people involved and for such a life-changing incident to happen. And I hope that hopefully the younger generation that do embrace violence and for whatever reason perpetuate those acts, I hope that something shifts in that change. And I hope that we can just refocus on what community is all about. And I hope they really understand the devastating nature of the acts they cause and that things can just change in an instant.
And in fact, we're told Davis had just celebrated his 38th birthday last week. Anyone with any information on this case is asked to contact Baltimore Police. Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
Show you the small excerpt of an article that has a little bit more information than what you guys heard. And it reads as follows from Local News 8. And it says, a security guard died after he was shot at a McDonald's in North Baltimore on Sunday afternoon, according to police. Police responded around 4 o'clock p.m. to the fast food restaurant on 4400 block of Reisterstown Road, where they found a man identified as 38-year-old Jamal Davis suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he died, according to police. Police said Davis was shot at the entrance of the restaurant during the altercation. Homicide detectives were notified. I'm in shock and completely devastated by the tragic and senseless acts of violence that occurred at my restaurant this afternoon, said Denitria Bell, the McDonald's local owner and operator. My condolences go out to the victim's family and loved ones, especially his son. Guys, that's the story of this guy, Jamal Davis. Like I said, may he rest in peace. Was a pillar of the community, died doing his job. Now, I don't know if you've seen that first video I showed you. You see the new security guard taking his place. You seen him hit the vape like, oh man, going up in there, ready to work. I'm going to tell you something, man. That's a black-owned McDonald's. And here it is. Some ninja shit done took place in there. You can't put value in those that don't value shit. And punishments need to fit the crime. I don't give a fuck how old you are, especially when you know what you're doing. Now, I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, I didn't have a good life. Oh, I ain't had no dad. I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear none of that. Because I'm going to tell you something. There are people out here, like I said before, their recreation is the recreation. This guy got shot maintaining security at a McDonald's. Shot in the doorway. If you paid attention, they said he got shot with his own gun. So what? I guess the kid pulled his gun out and shot him with it. I mean, they're tight-lipped on this, but I mean, a lot of stuff that they're talking about, man, it's like you got to try to put it together. It makes no sense. Said it was an altercation that got physical. How the hell is a 15-year-old getting into it with a 38-year-old, if that was the case, or just fighting in public like that anyway, which is normal now? You got a security guard in a place that shouldn't need security, a fast food restaurant. And you got to have a guard in there because people don't know how to fucking act in public. No regard for human life. When they get mad, that's it. We see red, that means you dead. That's crazy shit. Guy had 2 children, got gunned down in front of his own goddamn kid. How you think his son felt seeing his dad bleeding out in front of him? Wishing he could help him, but he can't. Seeing the life slip away from his own goddamn father, and the guy that shot him ran off and probably didn't even lose sleep that night. Man, there are people out here with a destructive nature. And you see it in their ways and actions of what's going on in their head. Always at war with self. Head full of gunfire. Constant battle. This is heartbreaking, y'all. It is. Some of y'all be like, oh man, how can you do these stories and stuff like this? I mean, it's cyclical with this stuff, and it's the same stuff. And honestly, man, sometimes you get tired of talking about it, but stories like this need to be told. The guy was doing what men do. He was working his 9 to 5, had his job, he'd been there a year. His son got a job there. Said he was sitting down talking with an elderly regular customer that comes in there. Something popped off. Now he's dead. People said nice things about him. Now he's dead. That person didn't care nothing about him. That's the thing. There are people out here that don't care. They don't care at all. So why would we care if for all of us that's trying to do the right thing and keep even keel in our lives, where there are other people out here with an appetite for destruction, and sometimes you're on the menu whether you want to believe it or not. It's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. Know his family's hurt, left 2 sons. Son probably don't even want to go back to work. Black-owned McDonald's, and here comes some nigga shit tearing it up. But when you say something about it, people get mad at you. See, I don't go off color, I go off energy. And that kind of dark energy needs to be squashed. For real. People talk about, oh, they wish the community get together. You got a better chance singing Kumbaya word for word. Black community will never get in order until you root out the ninjas. And I'm keeping it real on that. A lot of people ain't gonna like that because they don't like ripping the Band-Aid off and seeing the wound is festering beneath. But we got problems out here, and it affects everybody in every culture. See, when I say niggas and ninjas and stuff like that, I ain't just talking about black folk, because that word is synonymous with it's all over. It's a certain type of negative, privileged, I'm better than you, I'm the shit, you can't tell me nothing, undisciplined, childish ways that are out here that need to be squashed. It's crazy how a normal citizen can jump up and do something to somebody else without fear of punishment. If you got a kid at the house and you know all they're going to do is going to get a slap on the wrist, what you think happened to their behavior? It get worse. Look at America. Fucking house on fire. And it's spreading. And those that got the flame retardants, just like in California, no respect to anybody out there that lost anything, they're acting like their hands is full. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We need to start coming together as citizens. Not as the black community, just the black community. We have to come together as citizens, because every time a life is lost, it has a ripple effect all across the nation, whether you want to admit it or not. This is sickening behavior. Said the boy is 15 years old. 15 years old, and you killed somebody old enough to be your dad. What was so bad that you had to shoot this man with his own gun? Think about that. Why did it have to get physical when that man is your senior? No respect. No self-respect. No impulse control. Damn sure no conflict resolution. That's one of the major faults in man today. We've lost the art to communicate with each other and deal with each other on a one-on-one basis or a level of where it don't have to get physical. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.